Hello and welcome to this chat about digital transformation in the energy sector. I'm Elise Quevedo and I am joined by Edwin Diender, Chief Innovation Officer of the Global Energy Business Unit at Huawei's Enterprise Business Group. Welcome, Edwin.
Thanks for having me again, but in my new role. Thank you so much.
The energy sector has been an early adopter of digital technologies. In the 1970s, power utilities were digital pioneers using emerging technologies to facilitate grid management and operation. Now, digital transformation is a crucial ingredient in the energy industry, increasing network reliability and helping to better manage energy demand. It is improving efficiency and safety, and it is facilitating the increased use of renewable energy. During Huawei Connect this year, Huawei President Eric Xu said, digital technology is key to going low carbon. The ultimate purpose is bringing the power of connectivity, sensing, computing, and intelligence to continue building a fully connected, intelligent world and to dramatically cut energy consumption of ICT infrastructure. So Edwin, let's begin. Huawei is paving a clear path for the energy industry's digital transformation. And this year, Huawei established a new digital power company called Huawei Digital Power Technologies. Its focal areas span from clean power generation, energy and transportation electrification, to green ICT infrastructure and integrated smart energy. Edwin, what is the plan and reason behind this new digital power company?
What is clear is that also for Huawei, going forward when it comes to investment, going forward when it comes to funding, going forward when it comes to addressing global issues. Earlier, when it comes to intelligent and connected cities, it was touching upon the livelihoods of people, for example. Now it is about the livelihood and the environment that we as a society and as humanity are part of. And there really is only one way of doing that, actually two. The first one is, of course, to put special attention on it. If we would embark on a journey where this would be part of everything by keeping it within only one industry domain, for example, or in one organizational structure or business unit, it would be by itself, it would be on its own very efficient, but it wouldn't really have its tentacles everywhere where it needs to be. Secondly, if it would be on its own and by itself, it would only be on its own and by itself. But by creating not a separate, but an individual unit that has and that can put a special and unique attention on innovation, on research, on solution design, on artificial intelligence and enablement in a power unit, if you like, that is overarching, but that is also adjacent to all the other business units that we also have, it really allows not only it, but also itself in combination with the rest around it to strive and to boost. So that is one side of the equation where it sits. The other side of the equation sits with the ability to integrate all these services, not only in our own solution stack, but in a wider domain where the ecosystems and the eco partnerships and the platform that integrates all these ecosystems and eco partners with these partnerships together. And that fortifies and that enforces and that strengthens that foundation that is also already there. So these are two angles that for us makes perfect sense to take something not so much aside, but to specialize it in such a way that it can be better utilized back into where it actually comes from.
Edwin, there was a blog I read by David Sun, one of your colleagues, I believe, talking about the digital road to energy transition. And something that caught my eye was the energy pyramid. For those not familiar with it, can you break down for us the key elements of the energy pyramid?
I certainly can. David Sun is the president of the Global Government Business Unit, which is also the business unit where I am the Chief Innovation Officer for. To put it very blunt, David is my boss, so to speak. But yeah, It is our department, as he always says. So that makes him a colleague as well, for sure. Um, in one of his blogs, because there are a few already on this topic, is something that has a triangular shape. And in this particular blog, it is referred to as a pyramid. Right now, it is not so much a pyramid anymore. It is a bit larger than it. Um, we refer to this as the energy tower ring, so to speak, that is encompassing um, certain elements, including the part that relates to this pyramid or triangular shape, if you like. It follows it's almost like a bell curve, if you like, a one, a two, a three as the highest peak, and then back to two and one again. So it has a bit of a bell curve. Um, what it does, it starts from one vision, a vision of things being more secure, being more green, being more efficient, being more innovative, to making sure that we're able to guarantee two things. The first thing that we guarantee is that we bridge the gap of the digital knowledge, so the digital knowledge gap. So it shortens the gap and it bridges the gap of digital literacy. And the second guarantee that it gives is we cultivate talent. We need to bring our workforce, we need to bring labor, but we also need to bring talents higher up the value chain in the same process. So one vision, two guarantees that encompasses three processes: the process of planning, the process of building, and the process of operating or operations. So one, two, three, one vision, two guarantees, three processes that are um, that are working with two gears of the same engine, if you like, two drivers. It is, of course, very technology driven, but it's also very business driven. And it is supported with a digital foundation that is carried by one platform. So, one vision, two guarantees, three processes, two drivers, two gears of the same engine, supported by one digital infrastructure, one foundation, which is one platform. What this is, and what this provides is something that is very common when we look at digital transformation of other digital infrastructures. For example, the computing infrastructure in the past decades or multiple decades have transformed itself so well that it has become a completely utilized infrastructure, a digital infrastructure to support everything and anything already. If we look at a much older infrastructure, a copper wire cable network, if you like, it is the traditional telephone network. If we think about how this copper wire cable worldwide is also a digital infrastructure that has gone through a tremendous amount of change. And there are a couple of organizations that actually have been driving and have been leading the transformational change of this copper wire, very old telephone network already. And that's the telecom companies, organizations like Huawei, for example. And the learning curve that we've been able to extract out of that has created a framework. And this framework is what this energy tower ring is about. So, this one vision, these two guarantees with three processes coming with two drivers and carried by one platform is a framework that now helps the other almost same age copper wire cable network, which is the electricity network, which is almost the same age as the copper telephone network, is also transformational for. So this energy towering creates a framework from other domains that we're now able to map against the digital journey and make it supportive to the digital journey of the global energy industry. And that is exactly what this energy towering is about, with the pyramid within.
Wow, this is so fascinating, to be honest. And you mentioned that David San and some of you have got other blogs. I'm definitely going to be researching a few of those, and maybe that will give me the footing into more questions for next time.
You're most welcome to ask, as you know.
Huawei has an interesting vision that has been aiming to combine digital technologies with power electronics technologies so that bits can be used to manage watts. What is the concept and strategy behind this?
Well, let's look a bit of details. If we look at electricity, it is a charge, a negative charge that travels from the negative side to the positive side. So it's the minus and the plus. if you look at what digital is doing, it is the zeros and the ones, so to speak, because that's digital. If we look at how bits are driving the watts, you could say that the zeros and the ones create the insights needed to make decisions when it comes to the minuses and the pluses. So digital transformation, digital enablement, digital technology, big data analytics, for example, that is very supportive in the world of electricity, in the world of the domain of energy and energy generation, energy storage, energy distribution, and so on and so forth. Um, the world of digital gives unique, not only opportunities, but also tremendous and powerful value into having a holistic view of the digital infrastructure, which is not only the electricity network, but also the communications network and the computing networks combined, is one side of this equation, or one side of this coin, if you like. The other side of this coin is just as true and just as valuable, which is where if there is no electricity, if there is no power, I mean, there is no journey, right? This digital journey needs power. So, what is powering this digital journey? It is energy transition. And where does that lead to? Well, all of it leads to do better what we already do best. As I've been coining, coming to the two sides of the same coin, right? As I've been coining for a long, long time already, technology should allow us to do better what we already do best. This initiative, these opportunities should help us do better what we already do best. And the only way to do that is to integrate these services, to digitize physical operations, to digitalize and integrate different services and create a fully integrated, connected world, right? Which is another vision that Huawei has. We want to bring digital to every person, home, and organization. That means everywhere and anything, powered by energy transition, leading to a greener society, a healthier environment, a safer environment with energy and power anywhere, everywhere, anytime, everywhere, and not just bits and bytes going back and forth and minuses and pluses going back and forth, but they are directed, and they are directed into a direction where it is required, and these infrastructures understand why it is required and what then needs to be done to put it where it needs to be, so making it equal. Digital inclusion that we've been talking about when it comes to tech for all, for example, that you and I have been talking about before as well, also applies to this. Digital inclusion not only means information and knowledge and connectivity, but also power, the power to be able to even do this. That's where this comes from.
Correct, and you're absolutely right. And even at the beginning of today, I mentioned how since the 1970s, technologies have been existing in the energy sector. And I love the part when you said it is about power. I think people need to understand how the energy sector, even if we are not truly thinking about it from that digital transformation perspective, without energy, we have nothing. So shouldn't energy be one of the top industries that we look at when it comes to powering technologies? And this is why I love the way you broke it down, because as always, you made it very clear for everybody to understand. Now, Edwin, during Huawei Connect this year, you spoke about how production IoT facilitates smarter oil and gas fields, and how innovative ICT technologies help the energy industries be more efficient in their daily operations. Can you break down for us what has been actually happening over the last couple of years in this area, and what improvements we have actually seen?
Well, a good example would be the stage in the domain of oil and gas that is called ENP, exploration and production. The exploration and production of, for example, oil and gas fields. In order to create an oil and gas field and to put it in production, there needs to be some exploration being done. We, a team of people, scientists and seismologists, and or I think that's how you call them, people who check below the surface of the earth. You know, these teams need to go out somewhere and determine where is the next field of gas? Where is the next field of oil? Um, where is the next area where we can dig and get minerals and so on and so forth? This is a very physical way of looking at things, but there are digital technologies that will help them do that. For example, there is a cart that you can put on a trolley, and you can push that around 100 meters north to south. We step 1 meter to the right, and we do it again. We step a meter to the right again, and we go back and forth. This is how you go from this way to that way to this way to that way to this way to that way. And this on this cart is a machine that is sending tremors and vibrations uh, through the surface of the earth, like sonar and like seismic data and what have you. And it's trying to collect all this information into a machine. And then this machine has a cable or not. This machine is picked up, goes into a truck. The truck drives to a data center or an analyst research center, and this machine goes into their services. And the data is being taken out of this machine. It goes into a platform. It gets analyzed. It creates a 3D model of whatever is going on below the surface of the earth, and so on and so forth. Uh, Imagine this in real time. Imagine this with an unmanned vehicle. So no one pushes a cart anymore. The thing looks like a lunar lander or like the Mars rover. And it can go into areas where no people has gone before and don't have to go because people do this on the left side of the field. And these little lunar landers do exactly the same on the other side of the field, which is a little harsher to reach or harsher to work from if we would all have to prepare it first for people to be working there in a safe and sound manner. So technology that allows us to do better what we already do best is also digitizing different operations and combining them and blending them with physical, non-digital, hybrid or offline and on-site and off-site information services. The component of 5G that overlays all of this allows it to be connected directly in real time with a no latency connectivity layer with intelligence built within. Because from a cloud service, different applications are now being retrievable. Different forms of algorithms can already be applied that doesn't need to pre-install to be pre-configured or whatever. So that gives you an idea about how and where the exploration and production site sits. Then if there is a site that is fully in production, I'm sure you can imagine, and also the audience can imagine, how and where and in what way digital is helping to improve that and to optimize all that and to be more efficient in the daily operations of all of that by, for example, doing the inspections of power lines or oil and gas pipes normally by someone physical who needs to have a very safety and security measurement in place. So preparations being done physically to be able to climb up a tower, hang on a cable to check what the status and what the situation of that cable is versus the same individual. It's the same engineer. It's the same high level expert who is using maybe drone technologies to put a drone up in the air with high definition, which means a clearer view, better than a human eye, and not only one, but maybe 20 at the same time. Imagine this for economy of scale, engineering of scale, um, quality of operations at scale by doing more at the same time with the same workforce that doesn't do it physically anymore, but now become drone operators and seismic cart operators with lunar lander kind of way forward or Mars rover kind of way forward, and integrating that with all the other services in real time. So as we speak, in order to determine what to do next, and in order to do better what we already do best at a wider scale. So the digitization and the digitalization of backend services, integration of operations, and the Internet of Things, which in the world of smart city, for example, or intelligent city, is basically the digital foundation for all of that, right? It is the digital foundation for connectivity services in business operations and service operations for factories, logistics, the world of transportation, but also the world of energy generation, oil and gas, the exploration stage, uh, throughout the value chain. I'm sure you get the point, right?
I
That is where the value, that's where the value sits. And that's what it is. That is what it is.
And the one thing that I feel everybody is going to take on this chat from your perspective, Edwin, is doing better what we already do best. This sentence, of course, I've heard it from you through our many video tests that we've had, through watching you on your keynotes. And I think it is so powerful. And this actually takes me to the end of this chat, which I would now like to summarize. So, Edwin, from your perspective, what is one key takeaway or summary in regards digital transformation in the energy sector?
Oh, that's a very simple one. So I'm going to go one step back and then two step forward. How's that for a move? The one step back is I've been helping our customers and our partners with their digital journey in different industry domains already, right? The power of digital transformation really allows us to do better what we already do best. Here is two steps forward. The next wave of innovation for digital transformation is energy transition.
There you have it. Powerful insights shared on a topic that is very relevant in our technology world. Thank you, Edwin, for your time today. This is Elise Quevedo. Until next time.